Okay, so today we're going to be making some meatloaf, specifically some cheese stuffed meatloaf. And so let's go ahead and start off with the base of our recipe. Start off with, we're going to be, I have a half a pound of 99% lean ground turkey. And this is just because I'm just making a serving for 2 people. But if it's going to be for like a whole family, you're going to want a pound or 2 pounds depending on how many people. But I'm just making a 2-serving meatloaf, so I'm just using a half a pound. So we'll go ahead and mix that in. Sometimes I like to use minced garlic, but today I'm just going to use some powdered garlic. So I'm not really using a certain amount. I'm just kind of seasoning to what I would want. I like a lot of garlic, so. I'm also going to put in some Italian seasoning. Then I'm going to mix in an egg. I'm going to go ahead and start mixing that together. You can use your hands if you want, whatever. So I'm just going to mix in just like a couple teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. Mix in 2 tablespoons of the no sugar added ketchup. And just to let you know, at this point, nothing we've mixed in has added any points. The egg is 0 for 2 tablespoons of the ketchup is 0. Worcestershire sauce is 0 for just a little bit. The spices are 0. And then in a minute, we'll start mixing in what adds points. Next, I'm going to add in a 1/4 cup of panko crumbs. If you have Italian ones, I don't have any. That's what I normally like to use, but these are just plain. That's why I added a little bit more Italian seasoning. But I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of this, which is going to add 2 points to it. Try, instead of just mixing, and try and kind of fold it in. Okay, now I have like one of these, I don't know what you call it, I guess like a bread pan, a loaf pan. I'm going to spray that. Go ahead and spray that with a little bit of spray. Just so I can get like thicker pieces and it's not super thin, since I'm only doing for 2 people. Like I said, if you're doing for more, then don't go exactly by this. But if you're doing it for 2 people like me, I'm just going to take up about half of the pan. That way they're still thick. So if I take up the whole pan, obviously it's going to be really thin. But for now, I'm just going to put the whole thing in there. I'm not really going to form it yet, because this is like kind of what it's going to be like. But I'm going to go ahead and kind of create like a inner spot for us, and then we'll go from there. For the inner part, it's not just cheese. I'm actually doing macaroni and cheese. I saw a recipe, not this recipe, but a recipe for like a macaroni and cheese stuffed meatloaf on Facebook, and so I thought I'd make like a healthier version. But this is just the Kraft macaroni and cheese. I made it using the packet of cheese and the noodles, but then instead of the 1/4 cup of milk, I used almond milk, which is 0. And then instead of the margarine, I added in a little bit of, you know, the spray butter. I actually did like a couple tablespoons of the spray butter. I just poured it out, and so that was 0 that it was added to it. So for 1 serving, it is 8 points, I believe. And so I'm gonna try and fit 1 whole serving in here. We'll see how much we get, and then we'll go from there on showing you how many points it's going to be. But I'm going to see how much I'm going to fit in here, and then we'll go from there. I added a little bit of extra cheese to my macaroni and cheese. I added a little bit of this fat-free mozzarella, just a little bit, about a 1/4 cup. It's not enough. It's going to add points though, because a 1/4 cup is 0, especially since we're splitting it between servings. So I just wanted to add that to y'all. Okay, so it looks like I was only able to get about half a cup of macaroni and cheese in here. I could definitely get more, but because I'm gonna want to try and layer it in, I don't want to overstuff it too much. I just want to give it enough flavor where it's got that cheesiness in it and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start pressing that in. Okay, so I did the best job I could of stuffing. It was kind of hard. Like I said, even as much as I put in there, it was still almost too much, but I still want to have a good amount in there. So since that's half a cup, that's actually half a serving, which is 4 points. So since my husband and I are splitting this, it's going to be 1 point each, because it's 2 points for the whole thing, 1 point each for the panko crumbs, and it's going to be for one whole, I put it in half a serving of macaroni and cheese, which is 4 points, so each it's going to be 2 points, so 2 from the macaroni and cheese and 1 from the panko crumbs, so each slice is going to be 3 points. I'm going to go ahead and stick this in the oven. I'm going to put some foil over it and stick it in the oven at 350. Probably for about, I'm thinking 30 minutes, but I'll let y'all know if it's longer, and I will let y'all know how it turns out. I've actually never tried this before. I'm going to assume it's going to be quite yummy, but I'll let you know how it looks and everything, so I'll talk to y'all in a little bit. Okay, and this is what the finished product looks like. Sorry, it looks like a mess because I was starting to cut it in half. If it looks kind of like pink, it's not because it's not cooked, it's just because of like some of the cheese and like spices and stuff I added with the macaroni and cheese and stuff. And it's just mixing together, but I just want to come back and let y'all know that it ended up taking about 45 minutes to cook. Maybe you could cook it a little less time if you cooked it at a higher temperature, but it's going to end up being, that's kind of like fell apart, but this is about one slice, and it's going to be 3 points, and it's still hot, but as you can see, it's a pretty thick piece, and it is stuffed with macaroni and cheese, and it's going to be really yummy. I hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll talk to y'all later. Don't forget to check out my Instagram, which is Texas Girl Weight Loss Journey, and any other information below I will have in the info box. Talk to y'all later. Bye.